Mark chapter 9 verse 43 delivers a poignant and deeply significant message that resonates with the essence of our faith journey. This verse says, "If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed, rather than having two hands to go to hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched." In interpreting this passage, it is paramount to grasp its core truth. The language used here is vivid and metaphorical, not suggesting physical self-harm, but rather emphasizing the seriousness of dealing with sin in our lives. The underlying principle is about taking decisive action against sin. Our hands, in this context, represent actions or deeds that might lead us astray from the path of righteousness. The teaching is clear. It is better to lose something valuable in our lives than to let it lead us into spiritual ruin. The reference to entering life maimed symbolizes the sacrifices we might have to make to follow the path of truth and righteousness. These sacrifices could be in the form of giving up certain habits, relationships, or practices that are not in alignment with a life dedicated to following Christ. Moreover, this verse speaks directly to the reality of eternal consequences. The mention of hell is a sobering reminder that our choices have eternal significance. The fire that is never quenched symbolizes the permanence of the consequences of our actions. As believers, we are called to examine our lives and identify anything that may cause us to stumble. This self-examination and the subsequent actions we take are not easy, but they are necessary for our spiritual health and growth. It's about prioritizing our spiritual well-being over temporary pleasures or gains. In applying this teaching to our daily lives, it involves being honest with ourselves about our weaknesses and taking concrete steps to avoid situations that might lead us into temptation. It might mean changing our routines, avoiding certain environments, or seeking accountability from fellow believers. The goal is to live a life that is pleasing to God, free from the entanglements of sin. This passage challenges us to be vigilant and proactive in our fight against sin. It's a call to radical discipleship, choosing the eternal over the temporal and the spiritual over the carnal. This teaching, though stern, is rooted in love, the love of a Savior who desires us to live in freedom and truth. As we navigate our faith journey, let this verse be a guiding light, leading us to make choices that honor God and advance His kingdom.